Every time we step onto an airplane, we make an unspoken pact. We place immense trust in the sky, in the people who design, build, and maintain these incredible machines, and in the companies that promise to keep us safe. It's a leap of faith that millions of us take every single day, whether we're traveling for business, reuniting with loved ones, or exploring new corners of the world. We buckle our seatbelts, listen to the familiar safety briefings, and expect to land safely at our destination. This trust is built on decades of engineering breakthroughs, rigorous testing, and a relentless focus on safety that has made air travel one of the safest ways to get from place to place. For generations, Boeing stood as the gold standard in aviation, a symbol of reliability, American ingenuity, and technological progress. Their planes carried presidents, astronauts, and millions of ordinary people across continents and oceans. But in recent years, that once sterling reputation has been deeply tarnished. The name Boeing, once synonymous with safety, now raises questions and concerns. High-profile incidents have dominated headlines, and disturbing revelations about internal practices have shaken public confidence to its core. Passengers and industry experts alike are left wondering, what went wrong? The two tragic 737 MAX crashes were not just isolated accidents, they represented a profound betrayal of trust. Investigations revealed a corporate culture that, at times, prioritized profits and speed over the safety of passengers and crew. Now, new and troubling concerns have emerged about the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, a plane once celebrated for its innovation and efficiency. Insiders, whistleblowers, and federal investigators are raising urgent alarms about the safety and quality of these aircraft. Reports of manufacturing flaws and overlooked issues have sparked a new wave of anxiety. These problems point to deeper systemic issues within Boeing's manufacturing and oversight processes, issues that could have far-reaching consequences for the entire aviation industry. Tonight, we take a closer look at the Dreamliner, a marvel of modern engineering that now finds itself at the center of a growing nightmare for Boeing and for passengers worldwide. What exactly have investigators uncovered? Why do these findings matter so much to you, the everyday traveler? The answers could affect anyone who steps onto a plane. The details are complex, involving technical flaws, regulatory lapses, and questions of corporate responsibility. But the stakes are simple and universal: safety and accountability in the skies. In the face of these revelations, we must ask, can we still trust the planes we fly in? Are the systems in place truly enough to protect us? The answer to these questions will shape not only the future of Boeing, but the future of global air travel itself. Billions of journeys, and the very foundation of international connectivity, depend on it. This story is about more than just one company or one aircraft model. It's about the foundation of trust that underpins every flight. The world is watching, and the outcome will resonate far beyond the aviation industry. The consequences could not be higher. The choices made now will determine whether that trust can be rebuilt, or if it will be lost for a generation. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner was hailed as a revolution in air travel, a bold leap forward that promised to change the way the world flies. When it first rolled onto the runway, it captured the imagination of travelers and airlines alike, symbolizing a new era of innovation and ambition in aviation. It promised greater efficiency, comfort, and cutting-edge technology, setting new standards for what passengers and airlines could expect from a modern aircraft. The Dreamliner was designed to make long-haul journeys not just bearable, but enjoyable, with features that set it apart from anything that came before. Built primarily from advanced carbon fiber composites, the Dreamliner was lighter and more economical than its predecessors. This breakthrough in materials allowed airlines to open new, direct routes between cities across the globe, connecting people and places in ways that were previously impossible or impractical. Passengers enjoyed larger, dimmable windows that offered breathtaking views, quieter cabins that reduced travel fatigue, and improved air quality that made even the longest flights more comfortable. The Dreamliner's interior was crafted to create a sense of space and tranquility, redefining the flying experience. Airlines around the world rushed to add the Dreamliner to their fleets, eager to offer passengers the latest in comfort and efficiency. It quickly became a favorite for long-haul travel, and its distinctive silhouette became a familiar sight at major airports everywhere. The Dreamliner embodied Boeing's promise of a better way to fly, a future where technology and design worked hand in hand to deliver a superior journey for all. But now, that promise is in question. Recent revelations have cast a shadow over the Dreamliner's reputation, raising concerns that few could have anticipated when the aircraft first took flight. The 787 is not an aging relic, it's one of the most advanced planes in the sky, packed with state-of-the-art systems and engineering marvels that were meant to ensure safety and reliability for decades to come. Yet, the very materials that made it revolutionary, those lightweight carbon fiber composites, are now at the center of serious safety concerns. What was once seen as a miracle of modern engineering is now being scrutinized for potential flaws. These aren't minor flaws, they strike at the aircraft's structural integrity, raising questions about the long-term durability and safety of the Dreamliner's innovative design. The dream of modern air travel is now overshadowed by doubts about the Dreamliner's safety. Passengers and airlines alike are left wondering if the promise of progress has come at too high a cost. How did a symbol of progress become a source of fear? How did an aircraft designed to inspire confidence end up at the center of a global controversy? The answer lies deep within its construction, in the very materials and methods that once set it apart from every other plane in the sky. And the implications are global, affecting airlines, passengers, and the future of air travel itself. The world is watching, waiting to see if the Dreamliner can overcome these challenges, or if the dream of modern air travel will be forever changed. Investigations and whistleblower reports have uncovered serious flaws in how the 787 Dreamliner is built. The main issue? Tiny gaps between sections of the carbon composite fuselage, gaps that can weaken the structure over time. In aviation, even a hairline gap matters. These sections, joined with shims, sometimes don't fit as precisely as required. Over thousands of flights, these stress points could lead to premature fatigue, and potentially, structural failure. Compounding the problem, reports of contaminated materials inside the fuselage, creating hidden weak spots. With over 1,000 Dreamliners in service, it's nearly impossible to know which are affected. The flaws are invisible to standard inspections. This is the nightmare. A hidden defect, spread across a global fleet. The risk may be rare, but the consequences could be catastrophic. And the world is only just beginning to understand the scope. Let's break down the technical side of what went wrong with the Boeing 787. Understanding these details is crucial, because even the smallest flaw in aircraft construction can have massive consequences for safety and reliability. The core problem centers around non-conforming shimming. These are ultra-thin materials designed to fill the tiny, almost invisible gaps between the curved fuselage sections. Shims are essential for ensuring a perfect fit, distributing stress evenly, and maintaining the structural integrity of the aircraft. However, Boeing's strict specifications for shimming weren't always followed on the assembly line. In some cases, workers forced fuselage sections together, compressing the shims too much, while in others, the gaps were left too large or uneven, creating weak points in the structure. This misalignment puts unseen, concentrated stress on the carbon fiber composite material. While carbon fiber is incredibly strong and lightweight, it's also brittle if not perfectly supported. Over time, these stresses can cause microscopic cracks to form, which may grow with every flight cycle. Contamination is another serious issue. Debris, like dust, shavings, or even small tools left inside the fuselage during assembly, can interfere with the chemical bonds that hold the composite layers together, further weakening the structure. Imagine trying to glue two pieces of wood together, but there's sand or dirt trapped in the glue. The bond will never be as strong as it should be, and it's only a matter of time before it fails under pressure. For an airplane, these weak spots are simply unacceptable. Every component must perform flawlessly because lives depend on it. The combination of improper shimming and contamination means the fuselage may not be as strong or as durable as it was designed to be. These flaws can go undetected for years, only to surface unexpectedly. Over time, small cracks can form and spread, leading to premature fatigue in the aircraft's structure. If left unchecked, these cracks could eventually cause parts of the fuselage to fail. Experts warn that this kind of structural weakness could result in sudden, catastrophic failure while the plane is in mid-air, a nightmare scenario for any airline or passenger. The fact that such risks exist in a modern state-of-the-art aircraft like the 787 is staggering and deeply concerning for the entire aviation industry. The industry must confront these flaws head-on, with rigorous inspections, improved manufacturing processes, and a renewed commitment to safety at every level. In aviation, the margin for error is zero. Every detail matters, and there's simply no room for compromise when it comes to keeping passengers safe. This crisis was exposed by whistleblowers inside Boeing. Quality engineer Sam Salahpour warned about manufacturing flaws in the 787 and 777 lines, claims he says were ignored. He described workers forcing fuselage sections together, creating unacceptable risks. His warnings echo the 737 MAX crisis, where internal red flags were also ignored, leading to 2 fatal crashes. The pattern is chilling: production speed prioritized over safety, and whistleblowers sidelined. Salapour's courage forced these issues into the open, prompting investigations by Boeing and the FAA. Without whistleblowers, these dangers might have remained hidden. Their role is vital. They are often the last line of defense against systemic failure. The question remains, has Boeing learned from its past? Or are we repeating the same mistakes with even higher stakes? The world cannot afford another tragedy. Beyond technical details, this is about people. Take Maria, a flight attendant who once loved working on the Dreamliner. Now every strange noise or bump brings anxiety. She wonders if her plane is safe. Her trust, once absolute, is eroding. Flight crews are responsible for hundreds of lives, yet they now fly with uncertainty. Passengers, too, are in the dark. Families booking dream vacations, unaware of the risks. They trust Boeing and the airlines with their lives. The discovery of these defects is a betrayal of that trust. The stakes are not just corporate profits, they are human lives. The margin for error in aviation is zero. Once trust is broken, it's hard to rebuild. Every passenger deserves to know their plane is safe. The human cost of failure is unthinkable. That's why these revelations matter. Under intense scrutiny, Boeing insists the 787 is safe and that issues are being addressed. They cite rigorous testing and claim the fleet remains airworthy. Yet production has slowed, and deliveries have paused to fix quality problems. Behind confident statements, Boeing's actions suggest real concern. Critics say these steps are too little, too late, the flaws are already in hundreds of planes. Boeing disputes whistleblower claims, arguing their data shows no immediate danger. This has created a public battle between a lone engineer and a corporate giant. Boeing's reputation and future are on the line. After the 737 MAX tragedies, the company promised renewed commitment to safety. Now that promise is under the microscope. Only transparent, decisive action will restore trust. The world is watching Boeing's every move. The FAA is the watchdog for aviation safety in the U.S. After criticism over the 737 MAX, the agency promised tougher oversight. Now the 787 crisis is a test of that resolve. The FAA is investigating the whistleblower's claims and working with Boeing to assess risks. The agency can order inspections or even ground the fleet if necessary. Critics worry the FAA is still too close to Boeing, relying on company data for certification. Lawmakers and safety advocates demand independent oversight and full control of the process. The FAA's response will send a message about the future of aviation safety. Will they protect the public or defer to industry? The credibility of the FAA is at stake, just as much as Boeing's. The world is waiting for answers. So, can we still trust the planes we fly in? Air travel's safety record is built on engineering, redundancy, and a culture of improvement. But Boeing's recent revelations have shaken that foundation. Passengers want honesty, accountability, and independent oversight. They want to know their planes are built right, without shortcuts. Boeing faces a long road to rebuild trust, one that requires real change, not just promises. Airlines must also be transparent about their fleet's safety. The entire industry's credibility is on the line. The Dreamliner still flies millions safely, but the long-term questions are profound. The exposed nightmare is a warning. Safety is a journey, not a destination. For every passenger, vigilance is non-negotiable. The world demands nothing less, and the future of flight depends on it.